Good morning, welcome to my channel. I've woken up early today because I'm excited to host a Christmas crafty party with my friends. With Christmas only being next month, I wanted to organise a fun morning tea, so that's why it's called a crafty morning tea. But instead of just getting together just for morning tea and coffee, I invited my friends to bring a DIY project that they might want to start working on, or if they're in the middle of and they want to finish, just for a fun activity to do, which is a little bit different. I'm hoping we have a lot of fun today.
Now, if this is your first time visiting my channel, a very warm welcome to you. Here you will find easy family recipes on a budget, cozy homemaking and simple living. I hope you consider subscribing to my channel and giving this video a thumbs up, because every little bit of interaction helps me to grow my channel.
So I'm awake early, got myself half ready. I'm still in my dressing gown and my pajamas though, because half of the house is still asleep. So I want to take you along with me today as I organise some simple and easy food to host a fun morning tea activity. Some ladies will be bringing little babies and young children like toddlers, so some mums may be doing more morning tea than crafting, but that's okay too. Okay, let's get into today's video.
Now, to save myself some stress this morning, I pre-measured out the dry ingredients for my whole orange cake. It's made in the food processor, super easy, super simple. I got my eggs out so they're at room temperature. I've got my whole orange. I've sliced up some orange for a punch drink that I'm going to be making this morning, and a grater to zest some orange as well. So that's all of my orange cake things ready to go. I'm going to do a pavlova board, so I've got everything I need ready out to do the whipped cream this morning. I could have done it last night, but the baby was already asleep, so I didn't want to risk it. And I've got some glaze there for some quiches that I prepped last night, and this is our pavlova shell that we're going to be using instead of the little individual nests, because you get more bang for buck by doing it the way that I'm trying it now. I would have gotten the slab style if they had it, but they were all out, so I'm trying something different today, so watch and see if it works out for me. Now, I'll insert a clip here of the quiches that I made. I have made these before on my channel, which is why I didn't film it sort of from scratch again, because I figured you might have already seen it already. But if not, I love to use salami slices as the base for the quiche. It makes it so quick and easy to do, and I'll include a recipe below of what you would need to make 12 mini quiches. One of the ladies that was attending for the Christmas crafty was dairy intolerant, so that's why in that intro clip you would have seen that there was some on the top shelf that looked a little bit different, because I didn't realize until I went to make it that salami does have milk in it, or most of the brands do anyway. So live and learn. I'll put that recipe below for you so you can make them at home. I did, to keep things really super simple but tasty, I did 3 flavor combos. I did mushroom with cracked black pepper, diced capsicum and red onion with a sprinkle of smoked paprika, and Italian herbs and seasoning with half of a grape tomato, sprinkled with feta cheese and that balsamic glaze. These are all really basic and simple ingredients that you can use to make them look fancy without costing you a lot of money. Now, I forgot to mention earlier that by the time I drop the big boys off to school and come home, I'll pretty much have guests arriving, because I wanted to make the most out of that early morning window when my baby's happy before he needs to have a nap, because I don't want to be stuck in a room putting a baby to sleep. So that's why I chose really easy and quick recipes, and this one is a whole orange cake. So I'm just like cutting the gnarly rindy ends off the orange, quartering that up, and we're going to put that in the food processor, adding in our dry ingredients, which is flour and sugar. I will link the recipe below. And I'm going to crack in 3 eggs. I just like to crack mine individually so that one bad egg doesn't ruin a whole batch, because I don't have time for that today. Last night I also pre-measured out some butter, so I'm just going to go ahead and melt that before I add that to our food processor. To add a festive twist to this easy cake, I'm going to add a handful of dried sweetened cranberries. This turned out so well, and it's such a moist cake. It would go so nice even just toasted with some butter for an after school snack. One thing that I have learned over the years is that just because you are cooking and making food on a budget doesn't mean that your food has to look basic. We're going to take the orange that we are using to make the icing and we're going to zest it to sprinkle on top to add a bit of colour and a bit of garnish to our cake. I'm just going to juice half of this orange to make the icing, like a glaze, to put on our loaf once it's done, and the other half I sliced last night and popped in the fridge ready to make some fruit punch for this morning as well. So nothing has gone to waste here today. Next up, I've washed my fruit and I'm just going to prep this ready for our pavlova board. I could have left it as a whole pavlova, but I wanted to make these look a little bit more special and dainty, like individual serves for the ladies. Some other things that you can add to your pavlova board could be caramel sauce, little Reese's little peanut butter choc chips, or shaved chocolate. Hot fudge sauce and berries are some different flavor combinations that you could do, even lemon butter and blueberries. So there's a few ideas for you too if you wanted to make a little special pavlova board for your next Christmas get together. I cannot tell you how glad I was that this actually worked, because I was really worried that with that marshmallow center and like the thick rim of my glass, I didn't have like a thin one or anything like aluminium or metal, but it was fine, it worked. The only thing that I had to do was just run a butter knife around the rim of the glass in order to get it out. Other than that, it was easy enough to prepare these ahead of time for our morning tea. The quickest way to prepare whipped cream is to use an immersion blender. I only learned this trick last year when my mother-in-law came to visit. She uses this to even make breadcrumbs. I've seen her do some unexpected things with an immersion blender, but it's so obvious now that I look at it, I'm like, of course it's quicker than just your normal hand beater. Of course, I've been doing it wrong for the last 18 years or something. But anyway, if you have an immersion blender and you're in a hurry like I was on this morning because I'm down to the wire before the boys are late for their school drop off, definitely use an immersion blender. With everyone arriving not long after I got home from school drop off, I forgot to hit record when I was doing the cake, so I will link that recipe below. Now, some of the lovely ladies brought some Christmas shortbread and a fruit platter and some fresh watermelon to go with morning tea, so there were some other items that weren't prepared by me, but much appreciated nonetheless. And these are the easy recipes that I decided to pull together for my Christmas craft tea. Now, full disclosure, after having a nap from my food coma, I tackled our craft project. One of the mums that attended, her poor boy was ill and she had to leave early and get him from school. And one of the ladies had a newborn baby and the craft portion didn't quite go to plan, but that's okay. We ended up watching a Christmas movie together from beginning to end in one sitting. It was a miracle. So thank the Lord for our blessings. Okay, so I'm starting my craft project, my DIY project, because I've so been looking forward to this. These are all of my supplies inspired from the colour of my eucalyptus garland. I found these gorgeous frames at a garage sale and I selected these prints from Etsy. I can link them below if you want to purchase them as well and then print them off. I got them at like 40 or 50% off, so they were quite affordable. I love this photo of baby Jesus, so cute in the manger. Now I've got 10 minutes before I need to leave the house to go and pick up the big boys from school. I love the look of these two frames. They are a bit more silver looking instead of gold like I wanted, but this black frame I would love to turn gold. So I found some Rub and Buff from Spotlight when they had like a 40% off sale in the shade Gold Leaf. So I've got 10 minutes to try and knock this out of the park from beginning to to end. Nothing like the last minute. And this is on a very like cheap looking plastic frame, and I'm going to see if it can come up looking a lot nicer than what it does now. I am so happy how these turn out, and you can see in this clip the texture on the photo, and I'm just slipping the glass on the rear side, like the back side of the frame, because I don't want the glass to be at the front because then you won't see the texture. And I'm just threading my ribbon through the back, and I've done a different sort of ribbon tie or bow on each frame, so they're similar but different. And I just took a little bit of greenery from this pick that I got from the reject shop to make them just a little bit more special. And I'm so happy how this looks. I love it. What do you think? Do you think this is a budget-friendly DIY project that you could do at home? You could pick any type of Christmas image that you like. There were a lot of really cute vintage Christmas images on Etsy. I did find it difficult to choose which ones to go with, but I'm really happy with how these look. If you enjoyed this video and enjoyed watching me prepare an easy morning tea and do my DIY craft project, then please hit that like button. I've got 2 videos coming out every week leading up to Christmas Day, so November and December I will post every Thursday and Sunday. If you're looking for some more Christmas inspo, I will link my Christmas on a Budget playlist for you below. Now, if you do love to do craft, but you'd rather have a kit provided with everything that you need instead of having to hunt down at garage sales and things like that, like I did, I will include a clip of some craft kits that I found from Kmart. They were usually a bit under $5. The highest was $7, but there were some really beautiful embroidery, crochet, felt kits available. So if you're looking for something to do at night instead of scrolling on your phone and you want to keep your hands busy, then I will link those for you below as well. Alright guys, well thank you for hanging out with me today. I so appreciate you choosing to spend your time with me. I hope you have subscribed if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for stopping by.